I was terrified to quit my job, like my 9 to 5. I was even in slight disbelief when I did. My stomach would be in literal knots at the thought of going to work, at the thought of quitting. But at the same time, I knew that it was something that I had to do and I wanted to do. There was like this literal ache in me to pursue something more aligned with where I wanted to be. I even made a video for my future self as I was writing my 2-week notice. So, yeah.
It's crazy. I'm looking the same way.
I am, at this time, working on my letter for my 2-week notice from my job. So I have my 2-week letter here. Or my 2-week notice here. I'm about to print it out. I'll be turning it in to my job on Tuesday. Today's Sunday, so that's in 2 days. But I've been nervous to turn my 2-week notice in because I want to make sure that I'm making the best decision. Because I don't know, I just don't want to be in a situation in which I regret. And I've been thinking about it so long, so hard, and calculating every move that I am now feeling peace in my decision. I'm feeling a sense of calm in my decision. I decided to invest. That's my mom texting me. I decided to invest in myself. I'm employ myself full time. Like, I imagine myself being great, but like to reach a point where I'm even greater than that, I want to be able to come back and look at this moment and say, wow, I remember that feeling I had in that video. My present self talking to my future self. Congratulations. I knew you could do it. That hit. This moment that I had here, it took a lot of preparation, a lot of saving, a lot of faith, a lot of relentlessness. It wasn't a quick split decision by any means, but here we are. 8 years later, still thriving, still operational, and continuing to just prosper and just push forward to new bounds. Clock it. What's going on, y'all? Tech me out here, and in today's video, what I want to do is share a little bit of my story and talk about my journey on YouTube. Because what started as a passion of mine turned into a very nice business, and one that I could have only imagined. I remember, y'all, I remember getting an email from YouTube about flying out for a campaign that they were running. This was my first trip ever for my business, and it was like 2016. I hadn't traveled much at all in my life, or at least I hadn't flown that much, and I was super nervous, but I went, and this was the first time that I really got to see the fruits of my labor, so to speak. I was so nervous. It was so different from filming in my room. I was on an actual set, but we killed it, What's going on, everyone? Tech me out here, and today I'm gonna be giving you a few interesting facts that I want you to process real quick. So YouTube did some research and discovered that it only takes 1 minute and 34 seconds to register to vote. That's it. That trip was like my first real taste of what it could be. I got a chance to meet up with some of my favorite YouTubers while I was there. This is also when Jonathan Morrison, all of my OG tech people, y'all know, he actually gifted me a Sony camera, which allowed me to start filming in 4K, because I was capped out at 1080p then. My camera, it didn't autofocus. Like, I had to sit a broom in the space that I was going to be sitting, and I would go behind the camera, focus it, move the broom, and then get in the place of it. So it was a process. So this upgrade that he gave me, it really meant a lot. And it was my dream camera too. It was the upgrade that I needed, but I couldn't afford. He was gracious enough to provide me with the camera that helped me further launch my production for videos. And going, y'all, I even got it. This is crazy. Oh, yo, I still got the camera. It's the A6300. Oh my God. I wanted that camera so bad. And when he put this in my hand, dreams really started to feel even more possible. So I still got the camera. It's a good memory. Seeing some of these rewards happen from my efforts, it was really affirming. But before any of that, I was job hopping like crazy. Yeah. I don't think I really stayed at a job longer than 6 months. I was out of there. I couldn't quite figure out what I wanted to do. I don't know, too free, too artsy, and I just wanted something that was a little bit more solidified on the front end. So I pursued my degree in psychology. I also had a love for the mind. Like, I just studying people, observing people, you know? So I went on to get my bachelor's in psychology and my master's in instructional technology. But it was while I was working on my master's, though, that I started my YouTube channel. So this is back in like 2012. At first, the content I was creating was mostly about like software.
Hello and welcome to Tech Me Out. Today we're going to be looking at Forecast.
I did my graphics, my
Forecast
music.
Brings
I came up with my own songs, my logos.
It provides you with the time, the date, the current conditions, as well as the 7-day overcast of what the weather will be like. As you can see here, we have the time and the date.
God, I cannot believe I was on Beyonce's internet talking like that. Oh God. But I just really wanted to make sure people understood what I was saying, because I hate when people mumble. It took some time though, but in time I did get better with how I spoke on camera, you know, became a little more natural. And I even did a grand face reveal for my once faceless channel, because for like 4 years I never showed my face. It was just my hands. I was nervous to do the grand, face reveal, but I took that leap, and it was the first of many that I took scared. But I'm so glad that I did. So I think one of the most frequently asked questions that I have gotten on my channel is, who is Tech Me Out? Do a face reveal. Show us your face. So in this video, I'm going to be doing just that. What's going on, everyone? I am Tech Me Out. So for those of you that are curious in regards to who I am, how I look, you now have your answer. So before I even begin talking further about who I am and what is Tech Me Out, I'd first like to say thank you to all of you that have been rocking with me from day one, to those of you that have just subscribed a few weeks ago, months ago, or even hours ago. So I decided to take my love of technology, my love of videography and photography, and kind of merge it into one big bubble, which was to create a YouTube channel known as Tech Me Out. Now, I don't remember the exact thought process I had in coming up with the name Tech Me Out, but nonetheless, it came about. And along with that name came my slogan that I say at the end of all of my videos. And it wasn't scripted, it wasn't planned, it actually came like word vomit at the end of a video. I didn't know how to wrap the video up, and so I said the first thing that came to mind, which was, thanks for taking the time out to let me Tech you out. But aside from that, I really don't have anything else planned that I wanted to say in this particular video. Oh God, the growth. Yeah. Watching some of these back is just like so cringe for me. It's a reminder of where it all began. I started off as the researcher for my videos. I was the graphic designer for my thumbnails, the videographer, the manager for finding myself deals and negotiating them and contracts and all that stuff. I was the Eddie Murphy of content creation, Sometimes I get so caught up in the pursuit of something different or new, like I don't allow myself the full time to take in what I've worked to become. Like, hey, I'm living in an answered prayer right now. Be present and just slow down a bit. The world has a way now of making us feel behind a lot. You are where you need to be. I had to learn things over time, and sometimes hard lessons were learned, but lessons were learned. I say all this to say you can start exactly where you are, as you are. You don't need all the fancy equipment and the setup. I know it's nice. I also wanted it as well, but you don't need those things to just simply start, to just put yourself out there. You can build and perfect as you go. Trying something allows you the space to learn what you actually need versus what you think you need. You put yourself out there and you try so you can get better over time. You got to see what sticks, what works. But not starting at all, that's not even going to give you the opportunity to figure it out. Or if you're the type that is researching more than you're physically working, if you're putting more into the thought of the action than the actual action itself. Because I can even be guilty of that one, like so caught up in the idea of something and trying to perfect it before I ever try. You get me, like, more preparation than actually getting out and doing something. Every opportunity, every trip that I take now is a reminder of that scared yet younger, eager version of me who was afraid to quit her job. I remember the first trip that I ever took after I quit. It was a dream-like place of mine. It was Hawaii, and I was there for the Snapdragon Summit. I remember something as simple as walking down the hall to my room, taking in the beauty of the area, the like smell of the ocean, the warmth of the air. Oh, it felt like paradise. And I was just thinking to myself, man, I was fighting to maintain 15 hours at work so I could keep my benefits. If I had kept that fight, I wouldn't have had any of that, any of this, but oh man, so much over time. Little did I know how endless my possibilities would be, the places that I would see and the opportunities that I would have. Over time, YouTube went from being my side hustle for years to my business. Like, I've gotten to work with brands that I admire, travel to new places, and create a life that I didn't even know was possible when I first started. I just imagine, like getting by, but not this level of success in which I'm in now. So I'm just excited for what's to come in the chapters after. All of this was definitely a relentless pursuit. I embraced what made me different, my voice, my style, and my perspective as a Black queer woman in tech. So right now I'm stepping into new territory, and I'm entering new chapters myself. I'm actually going to start my podcast. I've also wanted to start voice narration, so I want to put my toe in that a little bit. I want to explore new ways to share with you all my love for tech. So I'm going to bring y'all along with me on the ride. I also created a content creator guide because I remember exactly what it felt like to just get started and being overwhelmed with all the different options. I want to make that path easier for the next person, so I've rounded my gear recommendations, tips and tricks, and even a few of my camera settings. It's all in this one clear, easy to follow guide, and I'm gonna link it for you down below too. Believe it or not, it took me forever to make this video. This video has been over a year in the making. Like, I just overthinking, man, perfecting. Really never got it perfect in my head, and so it just delayed the production of it. Don't do that. Get your message out there. Somebody needs to hear it, just like I feel like somebody needs to hear this one. Even if you don't know the how yet, like the saying goes, shoot for the moon and you will land amongst the stars, because that is heavily my motto. But go ahead, put it out there. Matter of fact, comment a dream of yours down below in the comment section. One that you want to achieve or one that you're actually working on, because you never know who you might connect with. I think that's gonna, oh my God, I think that's gonna do it for this one, y'all. But until the next one, you can always follow me on Instagram and check me out, TECHME0UT. And as always, thanks for taking the time out to let me tech you out.